Game so great, I had to make the video a day late. Look, we're almost done packing up here, okay? We will be back, or I will be back in Colorado so I can have a permanent place to set these videos up instead of having to scramble to get these videos figured out. But regardless, the Wild have a lead in the series, 2-1 after an incredible 5-1 win in St. Louis in Game 3. Let's go over it, because going into this game, the Blues were already lacking as far as defensemen goes. And I'm not saying the defensemen were bad. I'm saying they were injured. As in, Nick Leddy, he was gone in Game 1. He did not play in this game. Robert Bortuzzo, everybody saw the puck that hit his face. I was hoping he was okay because it's a puck to the face. He did not play in this game for obvious reasons. And even worse for St. Louis, Torrey Krug left this game. And which I honestly thought at first was a mechanical issue, like a maintenance issue, like his skate blade fell off. No, he limped back to the bench early midway through the first period. So losing Torrey Krug and like half of their defense is absolutely killing St. Louis. And I'm not saying we're not playing good. We're definitely taking advantage of it. But again, we can't relax yet. It is only a 2-1 series lead. It feels good. It feels great to win on their ice, just like they did in our Game 1, okay? But we need to keep going. We need to keep winning. If we continue to play the way we have been playing these past 2 games with our game and not taking stupid penalties, not doing the nitty-gritty playoff stuff after the whistle, because we don't need to. And that's what a lot of teams are realizing. You don't need to do that like petty pushing and shoving at the end of the whistle. You don't, because oftentimes it hurts you in the long run. So if you focus on your game, then you start to win. And lo and behold, we now have a 2-1 series lead because of it. So, let's just go to the goalies. The goalies in this game, the same they have been. Fleury versus Husso. And I know a bunch of Wild fans really wanted Talbot in this game because, frankly, Talbot had been with the Wild longer, and some really didn't like how Fleury was playing in Game 1, even though, like I said, it wasn't his fault for the goals in Game 1. And in Game 2, he played well enough to win. And frankly, he made some pretty good saves that sometimes we didn't deserve. Game 3, same thing. He made good saves. Granted, there were a few saves that had big, juicy rebounds in front of the net, but they were cleared out quickly by Minnesota's defense, so no harm done. He played good. And it's fine if we keep rolling with him, because even when he falters, I will still feel confident in Cam Talbot. I will still feel confident in either goalie we have, frankly, because I trust them both. So if Evason thinks Fleury's the one, then so be it. Okay? Because it's Marc-Andre Fleury, a Vezina Trophy winner, 3-time Stanley Cup champion. And then we have all-star Cam Talbot as a backup. We are fine at goalie. So I'm fine with either person that Evason throws in the pipes. And also, something I forgot to mention in the Game 2 video, apparently a bra was thrown onto the ice after Kaprizov's hat trick. I don't know if it was thrown in the first Fleury with X stuff or if it was with Kaprizov stuff, because there were a few hats on the ice for Kaprizov's. Most of them came down for X. So hopefully we get more hat tricks and more bras end up getting thrown on the ice. We'll see what happens. But we start out this game. Game is actually over on True TV for the first few minutes because Bruins game was running long. And Jordan Greenway, 39 seconds in, just like that. Thank God I turned the channel to actually see this goal. 39 seconds in, he gets the Wild on the board of the first shot of the game. So the opening faceoff ends up happening, and the Blues are pressuring incredibly intense. Like, a lot of pressure is coming onto the Minnesota defense. But somehow, Barbashev makes a bad pinch on the boards. It gets past him. Eriksson Ek is shot out of a cannon. He comes flying down the ice. Greenway's on the other side. It's a 2-on-1. Eriksson Ek threads the needle over to Greenway, and it's like every goal anyone has ever scored in Shell. It's always that 2-on-1 where you know they're never going to get the guy in the back door, and it's a guaranteed goal. And lo and behold, it works in real life too. Ek threads the needle to Greenway, and 39 seconds in, the fastest goal, or the fastest playoff goal in Wild history, gets the Wild up 1-0 just like that. Once again, though, St. Louis is still pressuring, still throwing pucks on net, still hitting like crazy. They are getting the crowd back into it with all these big hits. But once again, another bad pinch by the defenseman springs Kaprizov alone on a breakaway. And he doesn't score on the breakaway. But he still manages to score somehow because it bounces off of Husso's skate. And it's not like, oh, he almost had it. No. Kaprizov was behind the net after he failed his breakaway attempt and just threw it back on net. And it bounces off of Husso's skate and goes in. And just like that, the Wild are up 2-0. The assist on the Greenway goal, Eriksson gets his second, Foligno gets his first. On this goal for Kaprizov, Hartman gets his third assist of the playoffs. So, and it's the third shot of the game. And St. Louis had 5 shots at that point. Shots are 5-3, 2 minutes and 18 seconds in for St. Louis. And the Wild are up 2-0. So it's a perfect start. And then at 14:38, or with 14:38 left in the first period, Braden Shen becomes too aggressive and ends up getting a charging penalty. But Minnesota's power play doesn't convert, so no harm done for St. Louis. And again, I kept writing throughout the first period, the Blues are playing incredibly physically. Like, almost absurdly so. Like, it is almost the main thing they are focusing on. They are continuing to hit and keep the crowd back into it and continue to do that, but they would just screw up at like basic defensive plays. Like, they wouldn't stay home. They'd beat us to the puck for sure, but they just would continue to hit. And I know because I played my buddy in Shell, and he loves to hit. But if you can outpass him, then you've got him beat. And it's essentially what happened here. It's like me playing my buddy in Shell. I'm not going to name him because I think he knows who he is, but we'll see if he watches. Anyway, the Blues are continuing to play aggressive. The Wild are continuing to not outsmart them, but convert on their opportunities. That's what I'll say. But then Minnesota, with 4:32 left in the first period, decides, you know what, we're going to be fine. Let's give St. Louis a power play. A too many men on the ice call at 4:32. Luckily, Minnesota's defense plays well enough to kill it off. So no harm done for the second best power play in the league in the regular season. Which isn't saying much because now this is the playoffs. They're still good though, so you can't put them back on the power play. And again, the first period ends. St. Louis played incredibly aggressively and really wanted to dig into the Wild and get them to play this, the cheap style of hockey that it was in Game 1, where we'd always punch after the whistles and it'd just be rough stuff, chirping, smack talk, all of that, and just get in our heads, and it didn't work. So I wrote down here, do not fall to their BS, okay? Because if we do that, then we get away from our game and we start to lose. Shots at the end of the first, Minnesota 12, St. Louis 14. So it was a good period both ways, but it seemed like St. Louis really had more of the zone time. They were controlling and just firing everything. But Fleury played well, and the defense for Minnesota managed to hold tight, hunker down, and get the puck out. So we were doing good. Then, second period, kind of almost a lackadaisical period. Not really, but nothing really ends up happening for a good chunk of time. Until at 12:16 left to go, or 7:44 into the second period, Matt Zuccarello gets a playoff goal for I think like the first time in 13 games or something like that. That stat might be wrong. But Zuccarello gets on the board with an assist from Kaprizov and Spurgeon, both their first in the playoffs. And basically Kaprizov with a beautiful play to stay on side, not going to the blue line, or not going to the zone, hold it at the blue line, passes it to Zuccarello. Zuccarello then creates a 2-on-1 with him and Jost. Justin Falk is in the middle for the Blues. He decides to respect the pass over, considering they got burned on it in the first goal of the game. So Falk goes over to cover Jost, leaving Husso and Zuccarello one-on-one, holds it, snipes it far side. And just like that, it is 3-0 Minnesota. And we are starting to roll again. We're starting to roll. But then, at 3:52, Matt Dumba gets an interference penalty. Again, stay out of the box, please. Luckily, it doesn't hurt as bad because Buchnevich also gets an interference penalty with 2:19 left to go, therefore giving us 4-on-4 hockey for the last part of the period. And then, period ends like that. Shots are now even, 22 apiece for both sides. And all I basically said was just keep generating goals, because if St. Louis can't, we win. I mean, it's pretty damn obvious. Yeah, but we just kept generating goals, and St. Louis kept playing aggressively. They kept trying to hit more than play the actual game. So it didn't make sense. I mean, yeah, they were physical, and their crowd was into it, which is why I was still worried, because I'm like, geez, that crowd is still loud, and they still have energy to hit. So I made sure that they didn't back off, because if they did, oh boy, that would be bad. Then we go to the third period, and all of my fear is gone, because Eriksson Ek scores 22 seconds into this period. Literally, Foligno ends up winning a battle behind the net, and he feeds Eriksson Ek in the slot all alone somehow. Like, Eriksson Ek shot this at the net. It went behind the net. Foligno goes to chase it. Everybody's concentrating on him. Eriksson Ek sneaks back into the slot and then takes the feed from Foligno and just fires it past Husso. And it is 4-0. It is just like the Game 1 score, only the roles are reversed. We are the bullies in their building, and we are just rolling over them. But then, all that fear just comes right back, because with 19:12 left to go in the game, or 48 seconds in, there's 20 seconds after this goal is scored, Spurgeon takes a tripping penalty. And this time is when St. Louis actually converts. A power play goal from Ryan O'Reilly, assisted by Colton Parayko. By the way, Foligno was the only one that got an assist on the Eriksson Ek goal leading into this. So O'Reilly gets this goal with a great shot from the circle that is able to not only get past Fleury, but go off the post and in. It was a screen in front by Braden Shen, and it's on the power play. So now the crowd is starting to get back into it. And again, that goal was scored with 17:43 left to go. So there's still a lot of time in the third period, and anything can seem to happen. And again, I say, please don't fall apart, because if you do, I probably may not forgive you. Luckily, they don't do that. They seem to hunker down for the rest of the game. And then Craig Berube, who, I don't know how many plays he's taken from Dean Evison's book, but he, again, just like in Game 2, pulls the goalie with 7 minutes left. And I know the hockey guy made a statement when he was reviewing this game that basically said St. Louis probably could have gotten a second goal had they continued playing 5-on-5, because they were generating opportunities, and they were close. They were really close to possibly getting another one 5-on-5. But for some reason, Berube pulls the goalie again, and then as the building is singing Country Roads, and they're getting right to the place I belong, and right as soon as they sing that part, Jonas Brodin, after winning the faceoff for the Wild, well, he didn't win the faceoff, but he got the puck back after a faceoff won, goes around the zone and just launches it. Absolutely fires it into the empty net. And I can just tell from Robert Thomas's body language watching the goal, stick just falls down. That was the dagger. Because at that point, the Blues just kept playing pissed off hockey. And not the good kind of pissed off, like our Game 1 type of pissed off. They took 2 more penalties. Falk took a slashing penalty. Mikkola took a cross-checking penalty. And then the game fizzled out after that. So the Wild win this one. Pretty much, I won't say domination. I wrote domination in here, but that's a little too much, in my opinion. And that's weird to say, because you beat them 5-1. But, again, we are taking advantage of a Blues defense that is extremely crippled. They have 3 guys now, I think, that are their normal defensemen. They are having so many call-ups. Husso will probably not start in Game 4. I'm assuming they go to Binnington. And we'll see if he can give that team a spark. I hope he doesn't, but we'll see what he does. Let's hope we can light him up as much as we've been lighting Husso up. And again, I said they will be back. This is only a 2-1 series lead. They can tie this series up, and it can be even again, which can put more pressure on not only us, well, it puts pressure on us. I don't know what I'm saying. But the final stat lines for this game are the 3 stats that I took for game 2. Shots, 33-30 in favor of Minnesota. Power play, Minnesota was 0 for 4. St. Louis was 1 for 3. Block shots, Minnesota blocked 18 shots. St. Louis blocked 11. And again, the big stat of the night that really shows what St. Louis was doing, hits were 33-17 in favor of the Blues. And it's like I saw a comment somewhere where it said, the Blues are playing bumper cars, the Wild were playing hockey. And that pretty much rung true because that's all the Blues were really doing. They didn't play hockey, they hit. And yeah, they hit and they got the building back into it as much as they could. But if you don't score when you have the opportunity, then there's nothing really to cheer about. So, the Wild are able to steal Game 3, and let's hope we can steal Game 4, because if we do that, oh my goodness, that puts so much pressure on them, and we could win this series in 5. And I know a lot of Wild fans are going into the Blues post, and they're saying, Wild in 5, Wild in 5. But if they win, they're going to come right back into our post and say, I don't know, Blues in 6 or something, or Blues in 7, or something dumb like that. But this series is not over yet. I won't feel confident until either we are like midway through the 3rd and we are confidently winning to get our 4th win, okay? I won't feel confident until we know we've won, because this Blues team has been our boogeyman and they can be it again. Now, if we keep playing this way, we should be fine. Even if the Blues manage to switch goaltenders to Binnington or their defense starts to play a little better. If we play like this, without doing the cheap shit behind the whistles, we will be fine because we're playing our game and we're doing it right. But anyways, that is it for this one. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like it. If you want to leave a comment, I will probably read them because that's all I do. And if you want to call me out for something I did in this video saying, hey, that stat's wrong or something like that, please do, because if I'm wrong, that helps me realize, oh wait, maybe I did say something wrong, because I look back on a couple of the videos, yeah, a bunch of those stats were wrong, because I'm new to this and I'm trying to learn. But if you, again, leave a comment on what you think. If you're a Blues fan somehow watching this, comment what you think the Blues need to do to win this series. I would think switch to Binnington is your first option, and don't let Berube pull the goalie with 7 minutes left. You start with those 2, you got a better chance. If you're a Wild fan, comment how excited you are or what else you could think the Blues could do to possibly win this series. Because, again, I'm not going to be fully excited until we win this series. It's not over till it's over. Let's win this series and let's move on. And like I said, that's it for this one. And I will talk to you all in the next video. Peace.